Can you handicap games and win money just by looking at patterns? Forget the games. Can you just look at number patterns, numerical patterns, and quantify what may happen in the next game? I think you can, and I gave you that little hint of that yesterday as I went over 4 games. Today we're going to go back into the 4 games, and we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to do a little walkthrough on one of these games just to give you an idea of what may or may not be happening momentum-wise, number-wise, if you can take a look at it, okay? So yesterday we talked about the Red Sox and the Orioles. Red Sox and the Orioles. Now, what I do is I look at run differential. I look at money differential. I'll look at the last series that they played, last couple of series that they played before they met this team that they played yesterday, which is the Orioles. I'll look at the matchup of these 2 teams. I'll do a bunch of research to bring my mind to a point where I can see maybe one side or the other is the right side to play. And if I can't do that, then I won't play the game. I'm not just going to jump on it because a pitcher has a winning record. I'm not going to do that. That's fool's gold. That's not doing the right thing. So I want to go through these games one more time just to review what we did yesterday. That was game 2 of the Red Sox-Orioles. The Orioles run lined them in the first game. The Red Sox were 3-7 against the spread. We're looking at dogs right now, and the reason we're doing that is because we're always looking for value. We're not looking to play a big favorite if we don't have to. I will play favorites up to 170, 180 if I need to. The Yankees last night come to mind for one of those teams. But bottom line is I try not to. I try to find some value. But if you got to lay the wood, you got to lay the wood if you know the team's going to win. But you don't haphazardly throw darts at big favorites because, oh, it's a big favorite, it's going to win. It doesn't happen that way. Obviously, you've seen it this year. The game before last with the Nationals and the Braves, right? You just want to make sure that you're taking a look and trying to get some value on these things. So the Red Sox, as I was just saying, were 3-10 the last 10 matchups with the Orioles. They had a run differential of -14, and their money differential was -426. So if you were betting this series for the last several years, the Orioles have been to play and you've been winning money. But yesterday, the Red Sox come over the top on the Orioles. So instead of 3-7, now they're 4-6. Instead of a run differential of -14, now it's -9. Instead of a money differential of -426, now it's -276. The Red Sox were +150 yesterday. Great value on that. And so when you see these discrepancies, when you put them in a spreadsheet like I do, you can generally see, okay, this is tilting big time one way. It's got to come back the other way at some point. Do you want to anticipate that? And the Red Sox haven't been a bad team. They're a 500 team. So they're a team that can win and can beat teams on the road. So it was a game where you look at it. I didn't bet the game. I just went over the stats yesterday, but they did come over the top on that. So what's going to happen today? I don't know. I'm not going to bet the game. So for that particular game, though, that was interesting. That was an interesting stat. I didn't look too deep in today's game, but it didn't interest me. So let's go. Oh, Pirates, Tigers. They didn't play yesterday. Rain out. They're going to do a doubleheader today. So nothing there. A game I do want to bring your attention to is the Cardinals and the Reds. So again, I said this yesterday. Cardinals were playing well, 7-2 in their last 9 before yesterday's game. Now they're 8-2 in their last 10. They were plus 572, and then they were on the road though. The Cardinals' biggest Achilles heel this year has been playing on the road, and their record of the last, the last 11 on the road, they're -24 runs. So they have trouble scoring on the road. They're down money, -521 on the road. And even when they lose on the road, and this was a big thing that popped out at me yesterday, when they do lose on the road, they get run lined every time. They're 0-10. So they've been run lined 10 times in a row in all of their losses. They don't play close games against teams. Now, in this particular series with the Reds, the Cardinals have been 5-5 coming into yesterday's game. But even at 5-5, they were -11 runs and -$48. Pretty decent discrepancy there because they're plus 500, they're -11 runs, but they're only -$48. That was something to look into, right? So they win by 6 yesterday. They come back down to -5, right? -5 run differential. Now they're plus $62 because you were getting 110 yesterday. So it's something that's really, really tricky. You train yourself to see and look at these things that, hey, on the road, they're minus 24 runs against other teams. They're -11 against the Reds. But they're only -$48. Why is that? Obviously, they've been blown out sometimes, and sometimes that doesn't matter. But in my experience, things do catch up. They do reverse. So that's what you look at these patterns. You're trying to determine when is this a good time to jump in. The Cardinals have been playing well. Maybe it was a good time to jump in. Did you jump in yesterday? If you did, good for you. If you didn't, then you missed an opportunity. So you want to just put yourself in a position to see these opportunities. And the only way you're going to do that is by continuously looking at these things every single day. Now, the final game I gave you yesterday was the Royals and the Twins. I was looking at it. Pretty evenly matched series, the Royals obviously been winning. The Twins have been a decent team at home. They haven't lost you much money in the last 10, so it was a situation where it's pretty neutral. What you could have done, could have got some value with the Twins. They were getting 115 yesterday, but they wind up winning by 2. They were +5 in the run differential. Now they're +7, right? Okay, so and also they were -$15. They were getting 115 yesterday. They're +100 right now. So I don't want to do that game today. That game doesn't really excite me. Something like that doesn't really pop out at me. But this Reds-Cardinals game did. And I'm going to go back into the Reds. The Reds right now are -115 for today. I want to look at it, though, because the Reds, they've been playing extremely, extremely well, right? So they went in and they played the Dodgers and beat the Dodgers 3 games in a row as a dog. Tremendous, right? So what I like to do is I'll open these Dodgers games. I'll go into the first St. Louis Cardinal game, and I'll go into yesterday's game. I'll pop them open, and I'll try to look at through the RBIs and the hits and the runs, and I'll see if I can get a match on the kind of pattern development inside here. And look, I've been looking at this a lot of years, and some crazy things pop out at your eyes when you're looking and staring at numbers for a long time, okay? And so when I see this, obviously the Reds come over the top. I'm looking at the Dodgers-Reds games here, and when you see this, you see that the Reds really handled the Dodgers, and then they stayed home. They didn't change positions, and then the Cardinals came in and they went 1-2 on the Cardinals. And then what happened after that is the Cardinals came over the top. And so what happens then? Do the Cardinals come back over the top? I think they might today. I don't know if I'm going to bet the game, but just from a glance, it looks like they might. And so what I would do is, and it looks like it might be, maybe another low-scoring game. It might be. We'll see. I'd have to look in it. But basically, this is the kind of game that you look in, you go deeper, and you study it. You don't do a cursory view. If you've been studying numbers like I'm talking about right here, you got to really get in the details, and you got to really read a story within these games. So that's what I got for you today. I don't want to, we've gone long enough, but basically you look at the numbers, you read the story it's telling you, you read the lead up to it, right? Because a chapter is a chapter, but the lead up to the chapter sets up the chapter. So if you're not leading up to the chapter, you're not going to set it up for you to win. So if you're having trouble winning, I'll tell you what, I'll help you out. Go to winningiseasy.com, click the green button, and I'll help you out. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.